Good morning, it's Karen at Simply Living for Him. I'm here to do my daily encouragement video from God's Word. It's a bright and sunny day today. If you follow me on Instagram the other day, I posted a photo that I got into the garden for the first time in a year. We just decided this year not to plant our usual garden for various reasons. And we did plant some pumpkins, but we didn't plant our normal garden. So we're hoping that in the fall we'll have all sorts of pumpkins, but we kind of did it for fun. Just kind of let my son put different varieties of pumpkins down, and we'll just see what happens. So the other day I told him I was going to go help him weed the garden because there were a lot of weeds. And so it was the first time I've been out there in so long. Just haven't gotten back there this year. And so there were a lot of weeds, that's for sure. But then amongst all the weeds was all this mint. Now, I had planted mint in previous years, never even thought twice about it now. And there was just tons of it everywhere. Now, I know many of you know that mint is known for that, right? It just spreads and spreads. But of course, as I stood there, I just thought, what a picture of the Bible, because it tells us in the Bible that we are to plant a harvest, or we are to plant seeds, and we are to sow seeds, and that God will produce the harvest in good time. Sometimes we don't see the harvest right away. So these plants remind me that what I planted long ago, I was now harvesting, this year. And I didn't have to do anything this year. It just, came back. And so you may have planted seeds in somebody's life years ago, and maybe at that time there was no harvest. But maybe just lately they're remembering things you told them, or they're, affected by how you treated them. And it may bear fruit in their life even later on. It reminds me of the girl who first told me about Jesus and shared with me about the Bible and about, truly understanding Jesus's death on the cross and the gospel. She would talk to me and read me the Bible and tell me all those things, but at the time, I never really understood it until a couple of years later, when I truly started searching the Bible and attending a church and going to Bible study. And I often thought about that. She never saw the harvest. In fact, it took about 20 years until I reconnected with her again and told her, guess what? I gave my life to Jesus. She never saw it then, but all of this fruit was being produced in my life that she had planted 20 years ago. So anyway, I want to remind you today that if you are sowing seeds and you don't see a harvest, just remember that the harvest will come. It says here in Matthew, I like this verse here. I love the wording of it. It's in the New Living Translation. It's in Matthew 9. It says, verse 37, he said to his disciples, the harvest is great, but the workers are few. So pray to the Lord who is in charge of the harvest. Ask him to send more workers into his fields. I just love that little phrase there. He is in charge of the harvest, not us. We obey, we plant seeds, and we let God do his work ultimately in people's lives. He is in charge of the harvest. And so obediently today, sow your seeds, make a difference out there in the world, share Jesus with others, whether you are, on the street sharing the gospel with somebody, or you're just being kind to a neighbor. Plant your seeds and trust that what you plant today may be harvested tomorrow.